Good afternoon, I'm Lily Peterson.
I'm Brady Heidinger.
And I'm Hannah Gordon.
And
welcome to What's Current.
We have some great news planned for today.
First is an interesting story about an SS officer put on trial and a Holocaust victim trying to find courage to forgive him.
Despite everything that she'd been through and witnessed, a survivor of Auschwitz embraced a former SS guard deployed to the camp who was on trial on 300,000 counts of accessory to murder. Eva Kor, 81, was one of the Jews who arrived at Auschwitz in 1944. She was then subjected to horrific experiments by Dr. Joseph Mengele, who performed terrifying surgeries to all twins who endured the Holocaust. But in a courtroom in Lüneburg, she and Oskar Groden, 93, known as the bookkeeper of Auschwitz, hugged each other after he kissed her on the cheek.
It was not planned, she said. This is what you see when two human beings interact, she added. Former enemies can get along as human beings. What on earth do we want to tell the world? Killing each other has never created any good. The trial took place on April 21st, but the outcome has not yet been released. Do you think this SS officer should be charged for being a part of the deaths of 300,000 people at age 93? A very controversial topic during a very dark past in the world. Now, on to the H5N2 avian influenza that has infected over 7 million birds in the Midwest since the beginning of March.
The highly spreadable H5N2 bird flu has been identified on 46 farms in 16 counties. It has also affected more than 2.6 million birds in the state of Minnesota. The Minnesota Board of Animal Health has identified over 63,000 birds and turkeys in the last week. There is also more cases to be identified. The spreading virus can kill nearly an entire flock within hours. The birds and turkeys are being quarantined, waiting to be selected and destroyed. Destroying the birds is a long and tough process. The officials are still unsure how the virus is spreading and how it is getting into the barns.
87 of the 140 farmers of these flocks of birds have been confronted and advised to take the roach antiviral medication. The state lawmakers are also working towards a bill of $900,000 for the cure. Dayton said that as soon as the bill reaches his desk, he will sign it.
There is no reason to be scared of this flu, as the flu is very unlikely for humans to contract. However, the prices in eggs are most likely to rise. And now, on to another health update. 6 months ago, during the peak of the hype, we did a segment on the deadly virus Ebola.
We interviewed Dr. Elizabeth Johnson, who is volunteering in Sierra Leone to help stop the spread of Ebola. Today she will be giving us an exclusive interview about the question everyone has had in the back of their minds. Whatever happened to Ebola?
To you, Doctor.
Thanks for having me again. As you might know, about a half a year ago, the CDC released a statement saying that by mid-January 2015, roughly 1.4 million people could have died from the virus. Today, 3 months past January, Ebola has claimed only around 8,500 people's lives, and the number of patients has dropped dramatically. How did this almost total containment happen in 6 months? The large number of deaths would have happened if some important steps weren't taken. The most effective intervention was educated to the public. Through banners, billboards, and texts, West Africa was protected. Citizens learned to avoid large crowds. Schools were shut and elections were canceled. Most importantly, medical practices changed by the help of the people like me, bringing safe precautions on handling bodily fluids. I'm over the moon that Ebola is slowing down, and I'm heading home in 3 weeks. It feels great to be able to have helped the epidemic for the better of the world. Wow, doctor, thank you for all you did. Great news the second time around, unlike the first.
Yes, that is awesome. Is it just me, or is there like a little resemblance between Lily and Dr. Johnson?
Don't see it.
Yeah, me either.
Thank you for watching.
We hope you enjoyed it.
Don't forget to tune in next week. Same time, same place.
And remember, we are What's Current.